Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, city volunteers in Malaysia's Johor Bahru held a charity fair to fundraise for their dialysis and education centres. US city volunteer Luo Liu Guizhen, who passed away last week, continues to give after death by donating her organs to those in need. And in Hualien, Taiwan, the Tai Ba Lang Elementary School, against all odds, continues to coach young baseball players. We kick off today's program in Malaysia. At this year's Lunar New Year holiday, the Tzu Johor Bahru branch held a charity fair to raise funds for the construction of dialysis and education centres. Among the volunteers were college students of different nationalities who gave up their holidays to join the effort.
At the Tzu Johor Bahru branch in Malaysia, many overseas college students are giving up their holidays to help out as volunteers. They seize the opportunity to introduce crafts for charity, and they canvass for funds for the construction of the Penang Dialysis and Education Center.
At each Tzu event, we are cleansing our hearts. Despite leaving our hometown, we are part of a bigger family here, the Tzu family.
Seen to a flute accompaniment, these young volunteers share the holiday spirit with the participants.
Usually, performing New Year songs can be a good addition. Since the flute is a traditional Chinese instrument, I think playing the flute really suits this occasion.
Sing a New Year song of their hometown, these college students give life to the new year. Later, everyone gathers to bank New Year's greeting cards. Lighting the lamps of the heart, these foreign students are praying for a peaceful year ahead. For Sofia from Bulgaria, this is her first time to participate in a Lunar New Year event.
I was also really happy to participate in the prayer myself. My first time to enter into Buddhism in a way. Because I don't know that much about Buddhism, but right now I feel inspired to learn more.
With such Tzu events, more and more people are joining the Tzu family, where there are no national or ethnic boundaries.
Moving to Taiwan on February 17th, Tzu volunteers in New Taipei City held New Year blessing ceremonies respectively in Xinzhuang, Santong and Banqiao. Activities were held to help newly certified volunteers understand their duties and missions, as well as improve parent and child relationships between participants.
Greeted with applause, the newly certified Tzu members walk inside the venue, where they will go through a few tests. First, they reflect on themselves in the mirror, and then hammer as they vow to overcome any difficulties ahead.
The sound of hammering is resonant, and it reminds me of my duties as a volunteer.
Lastly, they carry a rice basket to show their determination.
I didn't concentrate, so I couldn't carry the rice basket, and I felt stressed about that. I think it's because my heart wasn't steady enough.
As they pass through each checkpoint, the volunteers have a better picture of the challenges ahead.
When I think of my blessings, I want to share them with my community.
Parents should act as their children's role model, teaching them by example. They should be fine.
The New Year blessing ceremony held in Sanchong of New Taipei City also invited new Tzu members and local residents to attend. Tzu volunteer Chen Meiling brought her family of 7 to take part.
Tzu's activities help us improve our parent-child relationship, as we rarely have a chance to be together.
Ling Pinghui also brings her mother to take part in the blessing ceremony.
The song Home Sweet Home really touched me. I feel blessed to be by my mother's side.
Meanwhile, at the Tzu Banqiao grounds, volunteers also held many activities to welcome in the new year. the Vow to Action performance inspired everyone present to take on responsibilities.
After each Tzu Chi event, you have to ask yourself whether you have improved or not. Mr. Zheng Yan tells us that if you don't cultivate yourself first, it's impossible for you to enlighten other people.
At the New Year blessing ceremonies, volunteers give each other strength to continue on the Tzu Chi path.
At the New Year celebration in Santong of New Taipei City, Tzu South came together to put on the sign language performance of the Water Repentance Sutra. The Liu brothers, whose mother is a Tzu Chi volunteer, were among the performers taking part. After joining the musical, the three boys all decided to change themselves for the better. After their meals, the Liu family sits in the living room, and apart from watching DaAi TV, they also practice sign language together.
We put the music on and practice together. Though we are in different groups, I will lead them in rehearsal. I will follow them and practice each time they practice too.
Having participated in Tzu Chi's activities since they were little, the three brothers even volunteered to perform sign language at the community's New Year celebration and memorized the lyrics and movements within a week's time. Liu Weigang, the eldest son, decided to become a vegetarian.
If we do not control our desires and continue to kill animals, it might be our turn to be eaten in our next life.
Liu Wei-en, the second child, also realized he must change his attitude towards his studies.
I didn't study hard, so my results were never good. I need to make a change. If not, I will be stuck in this vicious cycle.
Liu Wei-xuan, the younger of the twins, also learned something about family relationships.
My mom treats me better compared to my twin brother. I need to tell her to treat us equally.
Through taking part in the sign language musical, this family not only gained wisdom, but also found harmony at home. In the United States, New York City volunteer Luo Liu Guizhen, also known to volunteers in the U.S. as Mama Luo, suffered a cerebral hemorrhage on February 14th and was later pronounced brain dead. Luo's family then agreed to donate her organs and body for medical research, fulfilling Luo's lifetime wish.
Tzu Chi volunteer Luo Liu Guizhen was known by volunteers at Tzu Chi New York chapter as Mama Luo. Luo joined Tzu Chi in 1990 and in 2005 became a full-time volunteer of the Tzu Chi New York chapter. In the 8 years since, every day at noon, a tantalizing aroma would fill the air at the Tzu Chi New York chapter. In 2007, Luo said, In 2010, Luo also said,
天天起这么早，辛不辛苦啊？
还好，这不算辛苦，这幸福。对，是做的我做不做。
In 2012, at the 23rd anniversary celebration of Tzu Chi in the U.S., Luo shared her life's motto with the participants.
Being able to give is a blessing. It would be a pity not to give.
On October 29, 2012, Superstorm Sandy struck the east coast of the United States. In the aftermath of the storm, Luo led kitchen volunteers in preparing over 1,000 hot meals for storm survivors, their day beginning at 4 a.m. each day. 3 days prior to the catastrophic event, Luo participated in the musical adaptation of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude Towards Parents, organized by the New York chapter. On the day of the performance at 5 a.m., Luo and her team of kitchen volunteers prepared close to 300 meals for the crew members and volunteers. With the condition of her knees deteriorating, Luo struggled with every step she took. She nevertheless always wore a smile on her face and persisted on, wheeling her basket to and fro between her house and the New York chapter each day. On February 14th, Luo was admitted to the North Shore Hospital after suffering cerebral hemorrhage, fulfilling Luo's lifetime wish to have her organ and body donated for medical research. On February 15th, Luo's family members signed the consent form. At the same time, the hospital declared Luo brain dead, having donated her liver, kidneys, and pancreas. Luo saved the lives of 5 others fighting for their own lives. Thereafter, Luo's body was donated to the North Shore Hospital for medical research. With a smile on her face as she waves goodbye, Luo closed the last chapter of her life. Luo led a simple yet remarkable life, and although she has passed on, her spirit lives on in the hearts of all New York City volunteers.
Staying in the United States, despite the snowy weather, a volunteer training seminar was held at the Chicago Tzu chapter for volunteers to cultivate blessings and wisdom. Meanwhile, at the Tzu U.S. headquarters in San Dimas, California, a media volunteer training seminar was also held for senior volunteers to share their experiences.
U.S. Tzu headquarters recently held a seminar for media volunteers to share their experiences with other media volunteers. Over the past 10 years, media volunteers in the United States have been helping to preserve Tzu's history, whether in print, photography, or film footage. From still photos to motion pictures, Ye Jinghong recalls what keeps him going.
When something of yours is used, that affirmation is the greatest encouragement for us media volunteers. It helps strengthen my confidence, and I'm more willing to continue on.
Through constant learning and hands-on experience, many media volunteers quickly became old hands at reporting and feel the calling to continue on.
If everyone is willing to assist and give support, then this team can move forward in the right direction.
Regarding finding the right direction in life, Tzu Chicago chapter director has a few words of encouragement for volunteers at a recent volunteer training course.
We continue to spread our humanitarian message worldwide. We are not just here temporarily, but we have deep roots here as we try to teach everyone how to become living bodhisattvas.
In welcoming the new year, Chicago Tzu volunteers hope to welcome new and old members alike as everyone continues forth on the Tzu path.
Also in the United States, since its establishment on the 1st of April 2012, the host of DaAi Radio in Northern California have been putting together programs for their audience and also regularly hold study groups to learn about Tzu's humanitarian spirit and improve their broadcasting skills. Let's take a look. To improve their skills on radio broadcasting, the team from Tzu's radio program in Northern California of the United States invited a guest speaker to share her knowledge.
With so many radio programs in your area, how do you get feedback from your audience?
If we have a different host to each unit of the program, would that be too complicated?
Listening intently and taking notes, the Tzu volunteers who are also program hosts also seize the opportunity to put what they have learned to practice.
生活习惯才对我们的人体健康有帮助啊！
原住民文化的百户蛇图腾，代表新竹客家文化的客家画布也一一呈现。
强悍的数据率领球队取得了3胜1负的好成绩。
用身躯跟那个气是一样的。
The volunteers' determination and attitude to learn deeply moved the guest speaker.
They are doing better and better. Seeing some of the articles they have written, I think they are doing a wonderful job. I am deeply moved. I think with everyone so mindfully doing their job, success is not too far away.
To spread Tzu's seeds of love further, the radio team in Northern California vows to give it all they can. our next report, we go to Hualien, Taiwan, to meet a group of young baseball players from the Tai Ba Lang Elementary School, which is famous for nurturing professional baseball players. Though the school is currently facing a lack of players, the coach says he will train the students as long as they are willing to play.
This is ex-baseball player Wang Guanghui, who was given the nickname Stunner, and this is Chen Yixing. What these players have in common is they all play baseball for the Tai Ba Lang Elementary School. Following their footsteps, the school now has new crop of hopes. Practicing on the baseball field, pursuing their dreams, these are the young baseball players from Tai Ba Lang Elementary School. Although the Tai Ba Lang Elementary School has a little over 100 students, in the past it was famous for nurturing world-class baseball players. To keep up with their past records, the school has once again started to recruit young players.
I want to be in the major leagues and play baseball with my friends. I want to play Major League Baseball and play in the Chinese Professional Baseball League.
Throwing the baseball back and forth, the 15 young players are practicing for their upcoming game. Since the players all are different heights, it requires skill to make a good throw. Other than the difference in level of skill between the players, the biggest challenge faced by the team is a lack of new players.
Nowadays, there are fewer children, and as many parents are working in the city, children are more likely to move with their parents to either northern Taiwan or Kaohsiung.
To recruit more players, students from grade 3 to grade 6 at the Tai Ba Lang Elementary School can join the team.
There is a big difference in strength between grade 3 students and grade 6 students. I will train them according to their abilities.
Seeing a lack of new baseball players and differences in skill levels, many have predicted that the Tai Ba Lang baseball team will soon be disbanded. However, the coach says as long as the children want to play, he will continue to train them. Before their next game, the students seize every opportunity to practice. As it starts to rain, the team practices under a corrugated roof. Practicing 6 days a week, these young players spend more time together than with their families. Although at a young age, all of them learn to live together as a team. This is 6th grader Chen Zuxian, who is not only the team leader, but also the star player.
If they don't pay attention, I will teach them how to throw a baseball. As the captain, I'm a little bit better than them, and my specialty is at bat.
As soon as the rain stops, these young players are ready to start their practice again. This time they're split into 2 teams and a game starts.
I like my baseball team, so it is okay if the ball hits me.
As the game is such an integral part of the school and community, the fences surrounding the school are decorated with former graduates that made it as professional baseball players. As for the rest of the spaces on the fences, they're reserved for upcoming players that maybe one day will make it to the big leagues and have their pictures and names on this wall too.
In Indonesia, for those families that live below the poverty line, the first expense that is usually cut is their children's tuition fees. To help, the Indonesia Tzu chapter has partnered up with 2 schools to offer scholarships to academically gifted but economically impoverished students, thus ensuring that those who need it most have access to life-changing educational resources.
Partnering up with 2 schools here in Indonesia, Tzu Chi continues to help local students in need fulfill their academic dreams.
We have a lot in common with the educational ideals held by the Tzu Chi Foundation, so we have decided to work together to provide scholarships for gifted students or those students in need.
Indonesia suffers from a large income disparity between its cities and countryside. Add to that the high cost of education. For families living below the poverty line, many simply cannot afford tuition fees. To help, Indonesia's Tzu Chi chapter has partnered up with 2 schools to offer scholarships to students.
No matter where the Tzu Chi Foundation is in the world, it does not distinguish between faith or race. This fact made us very interested in the work of the foundation. In working together, we have compiled a list of 100 names of students for whom we have eliminated or reduced school fees as a way to help the volunteers help even more people.
Now, more and more people are paying attention to the idea of the role of education in eliminating poverty. Thanks to this new partnership, in the future we will be able to help even more needy students, giving them a chance to go further in their studies and thus help their family's economic situation in the future.
Seeing that education offers a chance for a better future, volunteers hope this new partnership will help more students become contributors to a better community and world.
To welcome the start of the Chinese New Year, city volunteers in Indonesia gathered at the local Jingsi Hall on February 17th to spring clean the premises. With the assistance of some 100 volunteers, the Jingsi Hall was left spotless inside out.
Here at the Tzu Chi Jingsi Hall in Indonesia, working hand in hand, volunteers can be spotted cleaning every corner of the premises.
This is a big area, so if it's just a few of us doing the clean-up, it would take a long time to finish. Fortunately, we have many people helping out today. By making our Jingsi Hall tidy and presentable, we can enhance the beauty of the grounds.
Having just opened its doors last October, Indonesia's Jingsi Hall is currently the largest Jingsi Hall in the world. Therefore, to tidy the premises requires additional manpower. And on this day, volunteers and students on their winter break arrived to help out.
We are tired yet happy because we can help out and catch up with our friends at the same time, so I'm happy.
Although our house is still new, it still gets dusty. In a few days' time, we will be hosting a celebration for the new year. So as hosts, we have to make sure our house is presentable to welcome our guests.
Kneeling on the ground, volunteers carefully wipe each and every corner, and at the same time wiping the impurities from their hearts as well.
Sometimes our hearts are tainted with impurities, just like there is so much dust here. Cleaning this up is just like clearing our hearts of those impurities.
The accumulated efforts of volunteers leaves the Jingsi Hall immaculate and spotless, restoring its solemn beauty to perfection.
We go back to the United States at the end of the program. The Tzu Chi Los Angeles Academy held a charity fair last weekend where all the proceeds went to help the victims of Hurricane Sandy. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.